So today what I want to talk to you all about is astrology. I want to give you all introduction or understanding to astrology. Astrology is one of the 5 sciences that the most honorable prophet Eligio the Christ has taught us. And it's part of our curriculum. It's part of our religion. You know, in ancient indigenous times, we knew that nature was our religion. You feel me? Nature is the creating and compelling force of the universe. We are scientists. Science is the study and observation of nature. So science is our religion. Nature is our religion. Astrology is a science. It's the study and patterns of the human mind, of nature. Human beings are a part of nature. Society today likes to think that human beings are not a part of nature and what we are doing is separate from nature. But like my chief teaches, the fact is that we are very much so a part of nature. We're not separate from nature. Everything that we are doing is a part of nature. So that's what astrology is, man. Astrology is your projection, your astrological projection of the holographic universe. Like Chief teaches us, all of this is quantum physics. That's why this is a part of the curriculum. It's quantum physics, astrology, biology, melanin, grounding. All these sciences together give you a whole piece of what's going on in reality. So the holographic universe is a portion of quantum physics that show you that, hey, your reality is all contingent upon how you think. It is all mental. This is all a projection of your mind. There's nothing outside of you. And astrology is the science that allows you to see the reality and the energies behind that play, right? Because we're in the age of spirituality, right? So we have to focus on the energies that make people do what they're doing or make people think what they're thinking, because all is mental. Life is thought-based, and thought is energy that's being generated inside of the womb, which is the mind of consciousness, like my chief teaches us. So we need to understand the mind. Astrology is the mechanics of consciousness. It's how the mind or the psychology of your mind works based off of celestial bodies, right? Based off the planetary positions and the planetary alignments, what's going on in the heavens or in the stars or in the cosmos. These very transits or planetary energies are being permeated down here on Earth, right? What y'all don't know is, like my chief teaches us, the Earth is actually an interface for consciousness, right? We are all different pieces of the sun, vibrating on different frequencies of itself, meeting up on this plane of existence, which we call Earth, for us to, or for the universe to interact with its many versions of itself through consciousness. That's why we are called persons, P-E-R-S-U-N-S, like my chief teaches. Not persons with an S-O-N, persons with S-U-N, because we are all persons, different fractal pieces of the sun. And the planetary alignments are being streamed down here on Earth for the universe to interact with itself. So these energies that's taking place in the cosmos, they have an effect on human behavior, on human relationships, and on everything that we are doing. And astrology also represents the first law of hermetics, which is the law of correspondence, which is as above, so below, so within, so without. What's going on in the cosmos or taking place in the heavens, in the mind, is actually being projected below on a biological level. So we need to understand astrology, right? Because astrology and biology go hand in hand. If you want to study your genes or your genetic program, the path to least resistance, like my chief teaches us, is astrology, through studying your genetic program through astrology. So that's what astrology is. It's you studying your psychology or studying the mind and how your mind is using your thoughts to shape and manifest your reality to give you your projection of your holographic universe. Now, with that being said, like I said, like Chief teaches, we are all different pieces of the sun, right? We are all one being expressing ourselves through our finite egos or through our finite individual astrological energies. Your finite being is your astrological program. You are a specific piece or a specific genetic code of the all or of the infinite mind, or what we call the sun. And your astrological program shows you the role or the piece of the all that you are going to be playing and expressing in your reality. So it's important for you to know this, right? Like the most honorable prophet Eligio the Christ teaches us, your astrological program will show you what world that you fit into, because we are living in 3 worlds that I don't know if we realize it, but we're living in 3 different worlds, right? The first world is what? Babylon. That's the system that we live in, the society that we live in. When you go to work, you go to a 9 to 5, you send your kids to school, all this, you play sports, this and that. That's Babylon. That is the artificial matrix, or the matrix that has been alchemized from the original matrix, which is the next word I'm going to tell you about, which is nature. Nature is the original matrix. Nature is the original system, the original program that we have all come from. And that third world that your program is going to fit into is the internet. So through you studying your astrological program, it's going to help you understand where your energies best fit into. But furthermore, a lot of us think that we know ourselves and that we love ourselves, but how do you know yourself if you haven't studied yourself? How can you love yourself if you haven't studied yourself truly? Not talking about study your name or where you were from. I'm talking about studying how your mind works, how your mind is using your thoughts to create your reality that you're projecting from your mind. Not only with that, like my chief teaches us, if you want to know about your past life or your past self, astrology will show you just that. Your astrological program is a residual of your past life, which was lived as your parents. Your mother and your father, right? Remember, astrology and biology go hand in hand. You are a cell made up of 50 trillions of other cells that came out of a cell. Your mother's egg cell and your father's sperm cell came together to create what? One cell, which was a zygote cell, which was you and I. Once those cells came together and your zygote cell was formed, you, through a process called mitosis, split into 50 trillions of other cells to move as a one unit, which you call you, which make up you. So they are your past selves. You are 23 chromosomes of your mother and your father, like my chief teaches us. So astrology shows you your residual of who you were and how you were as your parents and your past life. It's the key for you to heal and overcome generational curses and soul ties. This is why it's important for you to understand the makeup of how your mind works. Because if you don't know how your mind works, if you don't know how you think, then somebody else is going to tell you how to think. You can already see we live in a system or in a society where there's another being that's telling us how to think, telling us who we are. But like an ancient Egyptian proverb states, the shortest and quickest road to knowledge of self is through nature. And you must study nature. Astrology is the study of nature, of how the planetary positions have an effect on human behavior, which is nature. You must study nature to understand who you are and what you are. You must study the mechanics of your consciousness, the mechanics of your mind, right? Some of us talk about spirits and this and that, but you're full of spirit. Spirit is just energy, right? The word spirit in Latin means spiritus. Spiritus means breath. Breath is what's giving you energy. Your astrological energy is predicated upon the first breath of air that you took in when you ported into this realm. When you came out of your mother's womb, which is a portal, the first breath of life that you took, whatever astrological energies was permeating in the stars, and you took that first breath when you came out of that womb, that locked in your soul, that locked in your spirit and who you are and the purpose that you came here to bring this lifetime. Wherever the moon was positioned at, what time that was at, wherever Venus was at, what time Mercury and the sun was at, wherever the rising sign or the sign that was rising on the eastern horizon was rising at, and what time is going to tell you who you are and what personality you have, what spirit you have, or what energies that you are carrying that you have to give to humanity. That first breath of life is your astrological energy. And through you knowing the time of birth, the month, day, and year, and the location, you can calculate up free birth reports on the internet for you to understand your mind. Because we're in the age of information, the age of Aquarius. Now is the time for you to have knowledge of self. Astrology is the key to you knowing thyself. Pyramid. It is the key. It is the key, like the Ankh. Knowledge of self. It is the key for you unlocking the kingdom of God, right? Like she teaches us, the kingdom of God is within you. All is mental. So if the kingdom of God is within you, what is a kingdom? If you go look at the definition of a kingdom is a realm or a domain or a sphere of knowledge or a specific activity of interest. And you are God. Because you are not separate from your reality. You are not separate from nature. Nature is our God, and you are very much so a part of nature. So the kingdom of God is within you. It's within your astrological programming, within your mind, which is your DNA. It is your soul, which is your mind, like my chief teaches. The kingdom of God lies within your astrological program. And in order for you to enter the kingdom of God, you must know thyself. You must study your astrological program. You must study your astrological energies and know them like you know the back of your hand. Know them like you know your ABCs. Know them like you know your 1, 2, 3s and how to tie your shoes. Because this is what's going to help you enter the kingdom of God. You want to unlock your talents. You want to unlock your gifts. You want to know your purpose in life. Well, you won't know that until you study how the stars was aligned when you portaled in. You won't know that until you study who you are on a soul level. Until you study your ego, which is your sense of self. So that's what astrology is. Furthermore with that, I want to give you guys a breakdown or a small synopsis of how to look at it or how to go about studying your natal chart. So first and foremost, you wanna know and have the time of birth. You wanna know obviously the day, the month, and the year you was born, and the location. And you can go on grupovenus.com, GRUPOVENUS.com to calculate up a free birth report. You can go on cafeastrology.com to calculate a free birth report. You can go on astro-seek.com to calculate a free birth report. There's also a great website that you can go on called tarot.com, TAROT.com. This is the one that my chief has guided me to, and this will give you an essential birth report. It's called an essential birth report because it's essential for you to know who you are. It's essential for you to know how the planets are affecting your mind and your thought behaviors and how you're moving on this earth plane. So go on there, tarot.com, and get you an essential birth report. But you want to know what time you was born, the day, month, and location, and the year. You need that information for you to calculate up that information. Along with that, they're going to give you a breakdown of planetary positions, right? A lot of us think that astrology is just the sun sign. Oh, I'm a Leo. Oh, I'm a Cancer. I'm a Capricorn. I'm a Virgo. Oh, I'm an Aries. That's okay to know. That's a kindergarten introduction for you to know what astrology is. And it shows us that you are not just a sun sign. You are a whole solar system, right? The sun sign just represents your soul self in totality, your sense of self in totality. But remember, just like all the planets in the sky, there are different spirits, like my chief teaches, there are different spirits or different energies of the sun. The sun is what's powering all the other planets in the solar system. Just like the sun or your sense of self is what's powering all the other energies in your chart. So you are not just a sun sign, you have a sun sign, which represents your sun sign in totality or your sense of self or your ego. Then you have the moon sign. The moon represents the mother, your instincts, your subconscious mind, who you were in the past life. You got your Mercury, which is how you communicate, how you process information, how you learn. Then you have Venus, which is your heart's intentions, your approaches to love, your ways in relationships, your ways in seeking harmony. You got Mars, which is the planet of sex, drive, how you assert yourself, your will, your soul's will to survive and thrive in life. You got Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion, right? The planet of higher learning, the planet of the gods. It shows your teaching style and your teaching language once you're in your higher self. Then you got Saturn, which shows your weaknesses, your challenges, your karma, the things that you're going to struggle with, your tests, your obstacles, the karmic debt that you have to pay back to the universe, the stuff that you didn't learn last lifetime. And all the other planets are generational planets, like Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Those are generational planets. You want to look into your north node, your south node. Your north node is your life's purpose today. Your south node is where you're coming from, who you were in the past life. Your north node is who you're growing into, the talents and skills and personality traits that you need to pick up on this lifetime. And through all of those planets, they're going to have different signs and different houses aligned with them, and they're going to be filtered through for you to see how your personality or your ego or your frequency is being expressed through your birth chart. For instance, my moon sign is in Sagittarius in the 4th house. Okay, for me to study something like that, I want to go on the internet and go type in moon in Sagittarius, right? That's going to give me a description of how I express myself in the world. Then it's going to go moon in the 4th house. This together with moon in Sagittarius is going to give me a whole picture of how my energies are expressing itself when it comes to the moon, when it comes to my instincts, when it comes to my emotions, when it comes to how I nurture myself, or how I like to be nurtured by other people in my reality. This is a great system for you to use to understand yourself. It's very imperative that you understand your chart, your astrological program, or your genetic code to understand you, because all life is an expression of genetic code, and you are an expression of the sun, of genetic code at a specific planetary alignment. So that's what astrology is, man. Go study it. Don't forget it. Stay on top of it. You feel me? Once you know thyself, then you'll understand the projection that we call the holographic universe. You'll understand that, because everything that you perceive to be outside of you or external of you is inside of your mind. You're experiencing all of the planets. Like, we even know this through the holographic universe video. They try to get us telescope and look into the stars. But we know that through science, there are no planets in the sky. There's no Mars in the sky. They talk about they want to go to Mars. No, all the planets are being experienced within the center of vision of your mind. There's nothing outside of you. All is mental. All right? So go study your chart, man. Study astrology. Very, very essential for you to understand, for you to have knowledge yourself. All right? Reflect the life from the most honorable prophet, Eligio the Christ. I love myself. Peace to the gods. Third is free.